Hey guys, welcome to Traditional Bow Hunting Wilderness Podcast. This is Jason Samkovic. Today we are talking about what's new with Razor Broadheads. Okay, what do they got going on here? It's they've been out for 1 year now officially, and they have come a long way. They've got a lot of amazing heads, and they got 3 styles. There's a lot of things down the pipe they're kind of working on, but they got the you have them right here. Your 150 grain and your 200 grain. And your 250 grain, but the 200 grain and the 250 grain, now I'll link at the end of this a video I did on the original ones, but they're the same blade. They're the same 1.5 inch wide cut diameter, and the only difference is the material of the ferrule. The ferrule on the 250 is stainless steel. The ferrule on the 200 is titanium. That's where the weight savings comes in. But couple things to note here. They've come a long way here. They've made some changes, and this year's a big one for them. First off is that they are now going to be offering, as we said they were, left bevel. Okay, left bevel heads, which they made mine for me by hand personally last year, but now they are producing left bevels. They got the tooling done, the jigs done, left bevel is available for these heads, and they look amazing. They've also upgraded some stuff on here too, little things like when they first came out, this was what they had on there, their setup and how it was, and you noticed that it even said on there plus or minus 10 grains. It was just kind of a safety clause. They were really close all the time, but it was a safety factor. They have upgraded their machining policies or their machining tolerances when they're machining them, so now that there's no issues for any of that kind of stuff or any concerns to even put that on there. Their new label here, big upgrade, just little stuff there from their last one, but you can see much better upgrade on there, and they've done some neat things with the heads too. They've like this one here is one of the original from last year, okay, that they came out with. Okay, it's still got the oil on. I've not shot this head. This is one that's in my arrow case, but you can see it's not stamped on the back side. It's only stamped on the front side, and it's a little lighter duty stamp. They have now, this is a brand new one, stamped them on both sides, which is very nice. And you can also see on the, if you look real close at the bevel on this first one, you can see the machining marks in it. It was good, but they have really upgraded their machining standards again, even on their grinding, on their beveling, and their proprietary process they're doing now. This one still got machine oil on it too, it just came out of that pack, but look at the bevel on that thing. Is just superb. It's incredible. I've never seen anything like it. It's just straight up flawless. Awesome design with their tonneau tip. The dual cross bolts. Notice there's 2 bolts on each one, but the heads are opposite. The bolt heads are on opposite sides. Not that it's a huge factor, but that head is quite a bit of weight factor in there when you think about it. And if it was only on one side, screw on one side, it might cause some issues with the flight of the arrow because of offset weight from side to side. Maybe it doesn't, but they thought about it and they knew they wanted to use 2 bolts through there to make that thing that much stronger. And but they put the bolt heads, they're opposing, so you have one on each side for perfect weight on there. But they've come a long way. This was here, to give you an example. Now, this one here is also one it has been through the ringer. When I say through the ringer, remember, I'm now down in Georgia. This arrow has been in my quiver in Georgia ever since I've been down here. It's been through 2 or 3 animals. It's missed probably 2 animals. And then when it was dull, the one time after missing an animal, I shot it a bunch more times just for flight factor. This head has been through the ringer and the Georgia humidity, and you can see that it just very light discoloration on it, and it's held up absolutely incredible. Okay, this thing is going to hunt for a long time. This head has just been outstanding. So absolutely amazing heads. I highly recommend them. I love them. They got some great things they're coming out with in the future. Things that will even make them a little more rust proof. You cannot have stainless steel. You can, but stainless steel requires a lot of chromium. Stainless steel that requires a lot of chromium doesn't sharpen as well, and doesn't hold an edge as well. So you want a higher carbon count to get that sharper edge, but you lose the chromium and vice versa and all this stuff. But they have a method that they're coming out with that is proprietary to them, that is not a coating. that will protect them from that and make them equivalent to stainless steel, yet also have the functionality and the sharpenability and edge retention of a higher carbon. So, you know, it's awesome. This is A2. It's fantastic steel, but they're going to take it to the next level here. I don't know if that'll be this year or next year, but they're in process of learning it right now. But this company never stops evolving, and they're doing amazing. Even on this one, this is the very first, this is a handmade prototype for me, but you can even see some of the, if you look at the bevel and even on the back here, you can see some of the machine lines and the stuff like that that are in there. You can see some of the machine lines in the actual you know, in the blade itself as the light hits it. You know, like I said, fantastic head. I love this. I will never stop shooting. They've been incredible, but their new ones are just so much finer detail, so much cleaner lines, even on the back of the blade. If you notice there, look at that versus looking at this one at the back of that blade. Okay, I mean, just little bitty details have come a tremendous long way with these heads. So Razor is on fire. Razor is putting out some absolute wicked heads. They come hunt ready. They're just on fire. I can't say enough of good things about them. They are still doing like they always have, which is putting in the, they're doing the wax coating on the blades. Okay, that rubber dip. It's a rubber dip is what it is. But so that way they can be protected. You can take this, and what I do with them is I'll take like this, and I will actually put these right on my arrowheads, or on my arrows like this, and leave them right in my quiver that way. And it protects them in my quiver. I don't pull this off till I need to hunt with them. You know, till I need to put it in my quiver. So I love the dip they do on there. Just protects the edges, protects all your feathers in your arrow cases, everything like that. Just does a fantastic job. Like I said, Razor is outstanding. They are absolutely outstanding. And when we look at this little bit of discoloration it's on there that we're seeing on here like this, that again, keep in mind the humidity and where I am in South Georgia, and what we're seeing on there, this head looks 1,000 times better than any other head I own. Okay, in my quiver, if you follow my Patreon channel, you see when I'm shooting all the time, you see exactly what's in my quiver. You know that I carry 3 of these broadheads and 2 different broadheads. The 2 other ones are just in the back as spares, but they're 2 different other brands, and I carry 3 razors in there. And I don't know why I don't just switch them all out, but I just, you know, I have been. But those 2 other ones, if you look at them in my quiver, they are rusting much quicker and full-blown rust on the actual edges versus what we're getting here. So very impressive corrosion resistance on it, even though this arrow, or this broadhead looks, you know, you got some discoloration, but it's also a year old and been through a lot of stuff and been beat to a pulp. And I'll bet I could just take some steel wool and probably wipe that right off there and get it in and clean it up. But I chose not to because of the fact that I'm kind of letting it see what it does here, because I want to learn, and it's also good for video. So this is, only thing this arrow's done is been cleaned off. But you can see that this arrow, this is a hunt arrow. It's been, like I said, through animals and cleaned up. Actually, still got some blood that didn't come out of there that's still on there. It's been bounced off of stuff, banged up, beat up. This arrow's, you know, chipped right here. This arrow's been through a lot with this head on there, and I can't say enough good things about it. Absolutely love Razor broadheads. They're phenomenal, and they have just stepped up their game, you know, going from what they did last year to what they have now. Little minor improvements, but man, look at that. Look at that head. That is 250 grains, or 200, only difference being the ferrule, or 150 if you want smaller, but that is just pure perfection in a broadhead right there. It just does not get any better than that, in my opinion. And 1.5 inches wide. I like a wide cut broadhead. They knew that. No other company out there other than, I believe the only one is still A. Boyer. And A. Boyer just got sold. That's not even their company, or it's not Larry anymore that has it. It's sold, which is still, not that it matters. It's, A. Boyer's is still a great head. I'm not taking anything away from it. I love their heads. But right now, if I'm not mistaken, Razor is the only one making a single bevel, 1.5 inch wide head like this in this design, with the replaceable blades. If you know, you can, where they're changeable and for ferrule and stuff. Like I said, A. Boyer, if you're thinking about it, A. Boyer and Razor are the only two making single bevel 1.5 inch wide. Now you got Simmons out there, which are incredible heads, but they're not single bevel. I really like the single bevel. The results that I'm seeing are fantastic, and I'm very happy with them. And like I said, this Razor head, phenomenal. Just an incredible head. I can't say enough good things about it. There are some people out there say, oh, it looks like a iron will. It's nothing like an iron will. The way, and I showed you in the other video, that the blade mounts into the ferrule with the locking lug design, plus the double cross bolts, plus the fact that it's actually 1.5 inches wide, plus, it goes on and on. This head is in a class of its own. Plain and simple. It is 100% in a class of its own, unmatched, untouched, and incredible. And the company's only been around for 1 year. Think about where they're going to be in 3 years. Think about where they're going to be in 5 years. Awesome. Absolutely awesome. I will have them on a podcast pretty soon. Keep in mind, no, I do not get any kickbacks from them as far as this. They do not pay me for any of this stuff. None of that kind of thing. So none of that's a concern. I'm using them because I love them. They're absolutely incredible. So highly recommend. You will absolutely love these heads. So just a little heads up on what they got going on and what they're up to. And but like I said, a lot of you guys last year when I brought them out, I told you left bevels weren't available yet. Was a bummer. They were brand new. They just started tooling. You know how everything is in the economy today. Everything in the world is delayed and you can't get supplies and blah, blah, blah. Well, for them, they ran into those issues with the tooling aspect. Trying to get the tools built and the jigs built to be able to make the left bevel was taking longer than expected. It is up and running now, and they can make right bevel and left bevel, 150, 200, and 250 grains. The 200 and the 250 are exactly the same. Again, titanium ferrule on the 200 and a stainless steel ferrule on the 250, and they are 1.5 inch wide, pure gold is what they are. So there you go, little tidbit on what's happening with Razor. Check them out. Information's down below for you, and it's also right there at the bottom of that. RazorBroadheads.com. So check them out. Awesome people, awesome guys. I know them personally, and like I said, I help them any way I can as far as promoting them, but also input on this. Should this be sharper? Should we do this? Is this angle right? Is this bevel right? Is this tip right? Should we do this way? They're serious about the input from everybody that's out there. They pay attention to what people are looking for, and they've done a fantastic job, and they've put out an incredible head. So there you go. Thanks for watching.